I can go into a shorter time frame.
Sure.
Let me see,
Wow.
and
Shot of
I'll stay. I'll watch this area, this support, and I'll see if the support is effective or not. If it
There's
is
another
not,
one.
it
Oh my
will
goodness.
it will push everything down. So I
Right.
will not place any trades. So if I want to place a trade over here, I want to see a pin bar. That means the price go under
Right.
24,980 and
80s.
go right back up. So it forms a pin bar right here. So I will place my trade next to the pin bars, and this is my stop. That's it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Stuff
if that happens.
Okay, if that happens, I love it. If thens, as always. Well, there you go. Dow, a big move right off that bell, 46,881, 881. New all-time highs there. ES trying to grind this thing higher, 67.52 last trade, couple points off all-time highs there. Gold, a little muted right now. Aaron, any prices levels you're looking at in gold as we trade 38.17?
I like I like the way this. I was actually considering like I think we spoke about last time the buy stop entries. I like a potential buy from here for gold to come up into these highs. This hourly to me is shaping up quite nicely. I like how this pre-New York candle came down, held the support. Trying to see if you can get a nice hourly morning star to play up here. So I just kind of want to see if this first 50-minute can break out. And although the range to the high, gold is, don't get me wrong, so bullish, but it's one of the markets where it's like, I certainly don't want to sell it. And if you measure from like here up into these highs for an intraday trade, 70 ticks still up into these highs is still a great trade. So if we get a nice 15-minute breakout here, I may see if I can get some longs up into this London high.
Okay, breakout above what price again, Aaron?
Let me see. Break above, say 38.18 looks like a pretty decent level to me. Nice, just nice 15 closure here.
Very good, very good. 38.18 again. Also, we have a number coming out in about 12 minutes. That number being U.S. S&P Services PMI flash, and then at 50 after, the president is addressing the UN General Assembly. We've got Bostic speaking the top hour. We got Powell at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. So we've got a lot on the docket just in this first few hours. But yeah, we have a number here in about 12 minutes, 11 minutes now. U.S. S&P manufacturing. Let's take a look at some of these prices. There goes the ES. ES trying to push higher here, closing in on those highs. 67.53. Anything on the tilt? Nothing really showing on the tilt for now. Dow did catch a bid. NASDAQ lagging just a bit. Go ahead, Jack. Look at the move.
The resistance in the ES that's running into, you saw it kind of where it turned around at the end of the day yesterday and where it couldn't really break out of last night is right at a real big fat round number in the SPX, 6,700, which would be about pretty much 3 points higher than here. So pretty much the high of yesterday. Let's say 57 would put us there.
All right. Let's trade 67.54. 67.54. Dow not done with the buys. Pushing higher here. New highs there. Again, all these highs are new all-time highs. 46,881. NASDAQ seen a little bit of selling here. 24,988. And Kevin's got his eye on that 24,980 level. Let's see if we do get into that. He wants to, Kevin, you want to see a dip beneath those 980s and you want to see it snap right back above, perhaps along.
Yeah.
If we get there.
Yeah, I would wait for that. I think it's coming. Yeah, it's dropping. Yes.
Yes, it is. And overnight lows, 24,973. Here we come right up to those 980s.
I'm going to take a small buy here on gold as a little starter. I like the way this 5 minutes starting to break out. 50 minutes looking like we're trying to get a nice push. Start off small. If the 15 does break out, I will add more.
Whoa. What's your position? What price? How many there, Aaron?
I am long from 38.187. Stops around 38.13. Trying to play it back up into a new all-time high here on gold.
Long from 38.17. You said 1.7 or 1.8? My apologies. 38.18.
38.18.7.
Very good. Very good. Last trade 38.19. And watching NASDAQ pull back a little bit here. 24,980s.
Yeah,
1170.
Nvidia is off about 1.6% right now.
Okay.
Amazon down 1. Some companies that were flying right off the bell are pulling back a little bit, especially in the more speculative
Nvidia did get
areas.
to all-time highs yesterday. Apple up 4%, Nvidia up 4%. The Dow is continuing to push higher here. We got a number in about 9 minutes. House accounts long from right here, right now, 63.13. A little pullback here in the ES, 67.52. Let the fellas manage their trades. I'll pin to the top of the chat. You got those top step daily levels. Those are update and refresh for every New York Open. Click on that link. We'll stay on the screen. If you don't, that's okay because we got you. Click on that indicators tab at the top of Top Step X. Type in Top Step daily levels. Have those overlaid right there on your charts on Top Step X. Also, upper left-hand corner of the screen, you got the hashtag Fast Markets or hashtag Power Hour. Hit us up at Top Step TV on X. Submit some cool trader wins, some swag, trader station setups. We saw some cool ones yesterday. Again, hashtag Power Hour, hashtag Fast Markets at Top Step TV on the X. Watching this NASDAQ continue to pull back a little deeper here, Kevin. 24,970. Dow continues to push. Dow is continuing to push here. Jack, since I got you here, as always, on Fast Markets, what are we looking at here in bonds and in Fed Watch and in yields? It was an interesting day with the Fed speakers yesterday. Some coming out hawkish. MYM, of course, coming out very, very dovish. We got Powell speaking later in the session. What are we seeing, if anything? Are we still pricing in 2 more rate cuts in October and December here in 2025?
I am confident that we are, but let me check this so I don't spread misinformation. Yeah, we're looking at about 75% implied probability of 2 cuts, or at least 50 basis by December 10th, which will be our last meeting of the year. Got the 10-year yield up here. I showed it a little bit earlier. We're above where we were when we announced the rate cuts, but have kind of found a little bit of a range up here. One thing to keep notice, if you're on Twitter X, Myron might be our first Fed board tweeter. He was tweeting out his thoughts, which is always good to see. So you can go behind the scenes and see how he arrived at his desire for 150 basis points in cuts by December 10th.
It was, Myron is definitely letting his thoughts be heard. We saw him yesterday talking very, very hawkish. Some of the other Fed speakers saying hawkish, slow down on more rate cuts. And Myron's like, we need way more. We need 150 basis points more. We got ES pumping higher here. Well, it's the NASDAQ. Kevin, we saw that reaction down to 24,969. Back up to the 9.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the bar to close. For the 5-minute bar, at least close this one. But it's going a little bit too far. A little bit. I don't like it to stop inside the range. I want the price to stop right at the edge. Yeah, that is what I want.
It's tricky with the NASDAQ. It moves around quickly. But we might be testing it again. Again, we have a number coming out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I just placed 5 MNQs.
What price did you get, Kevin?
My price is 24,978.5.
Very good, 978.5 long.
No, wait. 24,977.75.
We'll take that. 977.
Well, okay, I'm out.
Quick, okay. I stopped. Yep, pushing down.
If this bar stops like this, I will not get into the market again because everything is not what I expected. I thought it was going to go higher, but it didn't. So I'm not going to get in. Instead, I will take a step back, go back to the first trading plan. So that means I'll be waiting for something maybe somewhere over here, maybe in this range. And that way I can wait for the market to drop. equal
cut.
distance.
Look at that thing. All right, still selling off, and the NAS is still continuing to sell off here. Nice risk management there, Kevin. 24,950, 950 new lows printed there. ES a little bit more reluctant to follow the NASDAQ. Dow continue to push higher here. New all-time highs in the Dow. Gold.
And I can share. Can I share a technique? If I want to place 10 micros, if I want to place 10 micros, I can cut them into small pieces, like 2, 5 twos, or 3 threes. So in that way, for example, I wanted to have a position for 10 or 15 micros, but I just did 5. So if I'm unlucky, then I will only lose the 5. I won't lose the whole position. And if the 5 goes good, if the market goes to the direction I wanted, so it is making money, I can always place another 5 near my my hitting zone. So that way I can minimize my risk and maximize my profit.
Excellent. I saw that right there. Yeah, scaling in. We got 74% short in the NASDAQ right now. 70%, 74% short. Continue to push lower here. 24,945.
Maybe getting out of my gold trade here. Don't really want to see this 15 close like this. 15 kind of wick these highs here, which is a level to manage. So with this news coming out, wicking the highs, I may cut a small loss here. I had my stop down here, but with this pushing down this hard, I'm trying to see if I can minimize this. This 15 kind of, tagged the low, tried to break back above, tagging the highs, wicking back down. So with PMI coming out, I may manage this here. Let's see. It's a pretty strong reaction off them highs there on gold.
Order filled.
Was NASDAQ continue to push lower here. 24,945. Since New York bell rang, we're down about 60 points or so. We did pop up to 25,007. We're now trading 24,944. ES height range 67.50. We got a number in about 90 seconds. And then President Trump will address the United Nations General Assembly. That'll be at 50 after. We will be pumping that in here, so stay tuned. Watching Top Step TV, we'll bring you that. The speech can most likely run long, so we'll play it by ear how we want to bring that in and bring that out. But let's definitely listen to the opening remarks.
Order filled.
Market reaction there, and play it by ear. We got Aaron Trades in the house, Kevin New in the house. House account is long. 5 micro crude from 63.13. We got a number in 45 seconds. Buckle up. Big day. Kevin, you are flat. Nice risk management there. Aaron, still in this for now.
Still in this. 15 close is going to be key. If it closes, if it wicks back up, then I'll see if I can manage. But we do have some news coming out. That's 15 close will be key here for me. Pretty aggressive wick.
15 seconds.
Yes, here we go.
Let's see.
We're coming out. Here we go.
Order filled.
Manufacturing PMI. Second expected 54. 54. Actual.
Oh, nah, I don't like that. I cut my gold trade there. I don't like that.
Not seeing a Jack. You got it there. Expected 54.
Came in 53.9.
Thank you. In line.
Deposit 53.6.
Okay.
Not much doing.
All right, very good. In line. First numbers. We're in the clear for numbers. A lot of speakers coming up. We got Bostic at the top of the hour. But in about 5 minutes, we have the president, Trump, addressing United Nations General Assembly. Aaron, did you hold it? Are you still?
No, I kind of just cut it there. I didn't really like the way that 15 kind of tagged highs, tagged the lows, didn't break out. With Trump coming up, talking as well, it's not really a trade I want to hold open. So I just cut it there, small loss. I'm minus 270 here for me today. So good risk management so far. If we break out, I might give another chance, but I don't really like that 15 kind of holding resistance, holding support. I don't really want to get chopped up in here. We got time.
Yes, we do. ES trying to make another push higher. ES for opening range, pretty tight. Low end 67.48. up to 67.55. Call it 7 or 8 points. NASDAQ a little bit more. 24,940 at the bottom there. 25,007 to the top. Dow just green up and to the right. Just continue to pump higher here. Those are highs, all-time highs. Everything else a bit of a holding pattern until the president scheduled to start in about 4 minutes. We will have that. Keep an eye on that. We'll Jack, we'll bring in the audio for the opening
Let's
remarks.
see.
We'll see where it goes from there.
We'll all feel the vibes together and decide if
Right.
it's worth just covering straight.
Definitely keep an eye on gold. Gold, right? Flight to safety, flight to quality. For uncertainty, do have Bowman speaking. Bowman say 3 rate cuts.
I don't know. I'd have to
It's
look.
interesting.
I don't know if she's identified her dots or not, but she was on board for the 0.25%, as everyone was. Myron sold a center, looking for 50 bips.
Here goes the ES, trying to turn around. We go Dow into the 47,000 handle. 47,010.
New hats.
New hats. Shout out to Duckman. 47,015. And 016 is now. Absolute bull market over there. NASDAQ not having it so much. How's Mag 7 looking, Jack? You said NVIDIA was lagging just a bit.
Well, NVIDIA is down nearly 2% now, although keep in mind it had a massive pop yesterday on the news. It was investing $100 billion in OpenAI. There's this interesting flywheel dynamic going on between Oracle, NVIDIA, and OpenAI that has sent their stocks to the friggin' moon. You saw Oracle up, what was it, like 30 or 40% in one day?
Incredible.
Yeah, they're kind of passing money back and forth. So hopefully there's some return on that.
Yeah, I got 600 lot, a couple ticks higher here in the ES. 600 offered at 67.54. What was that 2800 lot that came in on the close? That was filled. That 2800 lot coming on the close in the ES. Was that 44? 67.44? I believe. ES might be making another run higher here.
Why not?
Yeah.
Pretty muted open so far, but we are dancing around the highs of the overnight session.
Take a look at the NASDAQ ladder. Pretty thin right now. Kevin, when you're looking at what we just saw, right? We saw that bounce off
I
those
saw the trend. Yeah, I saw the trend is different from maybe the week, because the resistance over here is no longer working. So in this way, I will not place any. I will not buy today, because you see this level just went from the ground to the ceiling. It becomes the ceiling. You can see it. Yeah, the range over here, those prices. So I don't like to place any long trade when I'm hitting the wall. Well, today might not be for my setup, because I like to place longs. I like to buy, but I don't see any chance for me to buy. Yeah.
Okay, remain patient. Aaron, nice cut there. 38.10 last
Yeah,
trade.
that's close.
Now 09s. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Right? You cut the trade. Minimal paper cut. We're seeing the pullback now, if you want to call it 38.10 pullback. Let's take a look at your charts. How do you read what we're looking at in the first 20 minutes of the New York session?
I mean, if we close this bearish on gold, tagging highs, breaking out of this pre-New York range here, a pullback into that 3,800 level wouldn't be too far away. My only kind of struggle is I haven't really taken a sell position on gold since last week in these ranges. I don't really want to fight this just yet. I kind of stick to my biases. I kind of only short gold when the daily kind of tells me otherwise. And to me, gold's so bullish. So if we do pull back, to me, it has the potential to still be a great dip buying opportunity. So this hourly close to me will be key. If we can keep pulling back, I'd like to see this 3,800. Don't know if we'll come back down to these highs of London. But I still like these. I still like these longs to come up and test this all-time high and London high here as well. But I think we might pull back a little bit more. Not really my short here though.
Okay, 38.07 last trade in gold. All right, get Hogan here. Hogue, big days ahead of us. Oh, what are your thoughts on the equities? We're seeing mixed bag in the ES, Dow new all-time highs, NASDAQ seeing some selling. Let's start with the NASDAQ, Hogue. We're about 21 minutes in. We got Trump. We'll keep an eye out. If Trump does get started, we'll bring that in. But go ahead, Hogue. What are we reading here? ES and NASDAQ for now, and gold. But let's do NASDAQ first and then gold, Hogue.
You got it. You got it. Hey, it's good to be with everybody. And hey, happy days are here again, right? Everything's at all-time highs. Not so fast. NASDAQ getting a little bit of some pressure from NVIDIA. It's not in trouble. It was a pretty decent move to the upside. We gave the auction yesterday in both the S&P and the NASDAQ B-. However, there was no new buying coming in yesterday. We put in the all-time high in the regular trading hours. It was a trend day to the upside. It was an emotional day, leaving some single prints. Where did we trade down to so far this morning? The session low so far, 24,942 in the orders. The first line of single prints closes at 24,938. So we got within a couple of points of closing these little single TPOs. Still looking for an opportunity for a long in these equities. Maybe that's just the frequency bias. S&P is holding up much better than the NASDAQ. Looks like the S&Ps are primed to make a new all-time high. NASDAQ, a little bit of trouble. Neither of them left the opening range at the dead-ass high or the dead-ass low, as they did yesterday. Really just kind of looking for opportunities to find some basing here in the NASDAQ to be able to lean on something to limit risk. I would love the opportunity to see 24,906, which is the IB high from yesterday, 24,888, which was last week's high, which is about halfway through the range from yesterday. So if we do get that, I think that looks like a pretty decent area. So I'm still looking for opportunities for longs in the NASDAQ. You wanted to take a look at gold too. We just had a failed upside auction on the 30-minute bar here. Initial balance high 38.2080. We looked above it. We rejected it. We've already moved all the way back to the initial balance low, which would be the original target for the failed upside auction. We're again in a situation where we've got overnight inventory extremely long. That really hasn't seemed to matter. We've got the open here. We're trading here over overnight inventory long. I'm looking at this as overnight inventory adjustment, not anything to worry about as far as any bigger time frame selling is concerned. We can't close the gap. The gap close in regular trading hours would close at 37.7670. And we're a long ways from that. So if we can't close that gap, I'm looking for opportunities for longs. I do like the idea of the VWAP here at 3,800, as well as the 20-session simple moving average at 2802, 80 to look for opportunities to lean on to limit risk. It's also about halfway through this bar, which is not the highest volume bar from last night, but still a pretty decent high volume bar when the market really started to take off. So looking for opportunities to find opportunities for longs in all of these markets still. I just can't sell yet.
Good stuff, Hogue. You got a 600 lot, 6750 bid 600 times. NASDAQ continuing to sell off here. 24,940. 939's new lows there. Kevin, I don't know. Yeah,
a new all-time high by a tick this morning.
Here we go
already.
About a NASDAQ, not so much. Kevin, we're coming up on about 30 minutes. We're 25 minutes in here. We continue to see more downside pressure in the NASDAQ. We look to, we thinking short, we thinking long, or we want to see how it reacts still, right? Around 24,940, Kevin.
If anyone wants to short NASDAQ, is not right now is not the good time because it came from 25,000, so we have to wait. But I can see resistance right now, just right here. Yeah, the market is trying to bounce back. So if I'm gonna, please
go ahead, Kevin, please.
Oh, okay. If I'm gonna place my hidden zone, I'm watching this bar. I mean, we have 3 minutes to close this bar. So I'll wait for the bar to close. I want to see the bar to close above like 24,940 something. So it cannot go lower. If it goes lower, I will pull back all my buying plans. So if it goes above this level in like 3 minutes, if it stays here, so this is the earliest place for me to place a long trade, and my hidden zone will be like around here. So those are my hidden zone, and again, this is my stop. That's it.
Excellent. Yeah, the
Yeah.
NQ is really getting
But
dragged down right now by some of the Mag 7 components. As we mentioned, we got Amazon down 2.6, NVIDIA down 2%. Looking right here, this is the ES. You can see it's really had trouble breaking through that 6,700 level. It just got there almost to the tick before this latest rejection. If we can get above there and hold, maybe it'll become support, but right now it's having trouble getting through that.
All right. Yes, President Trump's scheduled to speak right now. President of Brazil is at the podium, continue to get his money's worth at the microphone. So President Trump is scheduled to follow. We'll definitely keep an eye, but scheduled to address the United Nations General Assembly any moment. But currently, the President of Brazil is at the podium. We'll keep you posted on that and bring you President Trump when he does address the General Assembly there. Again, we got Powell coming up in a few hours.
Order
So we got a lot
filled.
on coming at you. We got Bostic scheduled to start in about 90 seconds. We got the NASDAQ continue to sell off here, 24,935. Gold turned around there. Aaron, we bottomed out around 38.07, back up to 38.16. Markets are moving right now. Buckle up. We got 4,500 people watching us all across the globe. Click subscribe, click like, click bell, upper right-hand corner.
Did I take this straight because I saw that on the
118,000
linear
subscribers.
channel,
Aaron, that turnaround.
I know that's what gold loves to do, and gold can look so bearish right into the last couple minutes of that hourly close, and you can come right back up. So good to see you, Hogan. Good to have that extra confidence that you're also not looking for shorts, because I really keep I like the idea of keeping looking for the upside here on gold. So it's nice to see actually having a bit of a turnaround. It's what Goldie loves to do.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, we're still seeing money coming into the long side, and it just keeps coming in since the beginning of the year, really. So, I'm still looking
Order
for longs.
filled.
You feel me?
What's your weekly kickoff high in gold, Hogue? Last trade 38.15. Listen, he laughs because when he puts these numbers down, he can't even believe he's putting these numbers down. What's your weekly kickoff high
right?
in gold?
38.86.
86, my God.
38.86.
Now I have 31, so
I mean, we're almost halfway there on the week.
4,000 by Christmas?
Sure that
Crazy.
this is a do or die
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
I know.
I do to the
Got
long
that 600
side,
lot
I do
on
to
the
left, to short
6750 bid in the ES. We're about a point and a half away from those to the downside. Dow very, very strong. All right, more selling coming in here in the NASDAQ. New lows just put in there 24,930 half. Yes, much more stubborn. Moving to the downside. Got crude pushing higher here. Session highs to 63.35. New highs on the session in crude.
Because look it.
Staying beneath those
Keep going with
940s.
that.
Yeah, Kevin, we're still beneath those 940s. Might be some more room to the downside.
614.
Look at where it is.
Bid
So I was
67.50.
It's all right.
You can get that thing filled.
But according to the linear
Looking right
regression
now.
channel,
Let's take a
we
look at the
should
tilt.
be shorting sometime
Jumping
in
off the
the
tilt
near
just
future.
yet. We got Bostic scheduled to go right now. Haven't seen anything from Bostic.
Okay, 35.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got Powell at 11:35 Central.
You see
So
that?
a little bit more time there. Waiting for Bostic to come in. Nothing just yet.
A lot of,
Well, a lot of news on the docket today, Jack. But you know the news that I really like to hear from? I want to hear from my main guy, Jack. Jack, what do you got if you're good to
Yeah.
go? Always got nuggets and
Always.
tidbits. Always. Look at that.
It's a
Order
day of
filled.
assorted nuggets here. That's what I was able to find this morning. First, this bull market will turn 36 months old in a couple weeks. Just a reminder that the average bull market since World War II lasted 67 months. So the party can keep on going. I see a lot of people saying right now that this is the 1996 moment, not the 1999 moment, but you never know. Here are the length and months of bull markets from when they started through now. Median 60 months, average 67 months. Man, 1987, Hogue, some good times after that drop. 148-month bull market.
Wow.
Next,
Halfway there.
I showed this chart yesterday. The S&P's forward PE is at its highest since January 2021. But this person added an important caveat that the 10-year rate is 300 bips higher and the Fed funds rate is 400 bips higher. As all things go, there is uncertainty. So generally, the higher your discount rate in the future, kind of the lower multiples you would put on companies. That's not the case. So they must be expecting either explosive growth or for rates to come down. Had them much lower for a long time before this. Looking over at real estate, in August, it was estimated there were 35.2% more sellers than buyers. So these lower rates were kind of at the lows of mortgages in quite some time. And people seem to be dipping their toes in the water. Strongest buyers market in a while. Andre, are you looking to buy a home?
Ooh, not the
Order
moment. If those
filled.
rates keep coming down, though, I'll definitely catch my attention. But that's interesting. They're trying to front run it already. Growing interest. Hell, if we get two more rate cuts, end of the year, if Myron gets his way, I'll definitely be looking to buy some more real estate. I mean, back to free money. That's interesting, though. Trying to front run this. Not even there yet. Good stuff, Jack.
Well, one more.
Ooh,
Let's go. We got Robinhood news. Piper Sandler estimates that Robinhood users account for 25 to 35% of Kalshi, that is the event betting volumes on any given day, and that the revenues from Robinhood's event contracts are annualizing over $200 million a year.
Right there.
So those event markets, remember, the CME is getting into this game pretty soon.
Yes,
they have a partnership with FanDuel.
Come on,
That's a sentence I never thought I'd say, but it's true. So,
I know, right?
Yeah. So,
going twice.
what new things are in the markets? Those are all the tidbits I have for now, Andre.
I like that one a lot. That was interesting. Interesting how there is a crossover between the two. 63.40 last year. Hey, Hogan, this crude trade. House counts long 5 micro crude from 63.13. What are we looking for an upside target?
$64 weekly kickoff high.
4. All right. About 60 cents away there. Bostic, not seeing much from Bostic yet.
Order filled.
President is scheduled to address any moment after the president of Brazil.
Can we do it?
Finishes
Sure.
up, so we'll bring that in. All right, Kevin, we're starting to see a little bit of a base here in the NASDAQ. We slowed down just a bit, 24,943, about 10 points off the lows. Is this telling you anything, or you just want to see this play out and continue to stay patient?
Well, right now it's kind of okay. I think I can. Let me see into the 1 minute chart. Damn it! I don't really like those wickets. I don't like those. Well, if the market goes this way to here, so we can see the resistance becomes support. In that way, I can see a 5 minute chart going like this, going up and going down again. So I can place my trade over here. This is normally my place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the earliest place we can do. It's like over right here or here in the 1 minute chart. But this is not what I planned to do. I wanted to wait for the market to go up and then go down again, so I can make sure the market is going back. So the foot going up and down again.
Yeah, now
and
we can
didn't
see
break
candle.
the level.
Do you like that more?
It's tricky. Nasdaq's tricky, Kevin.
Yeah, it's tricky. I know.
Turns around pretty quick.
Especially today because it's in the bigger time frame. It doesn't look so good for longing. Yeah. So this is tricky. So in those tricky moments, I tend to get into the market with higher time frame, not smaller. I always lose a lot when I get into smaller time frame. So I'll take a look at the bigger time frame, and I'll know the whole picture.
I like that perspective. Better perspective. Don't get lost, Louise. Aaron, are you flat right now? Because I want to talk to you. I have heart to heart with you, Aaron. What happened?
Let's do it. I am.
What happened?
I am flat. I'm flat right now. I did I considered this breakout here on gold, but then I always zoom back out. And I'm like, previous 30 really didn't show me enough to want to buy. You kind of held lows, held highs. So I want to see a little bit more here. I do still like these longs on gold, but I don't like it just yet.
Right, Aaron. Well, quick heart to heart here. The NASDAQ trade. What'd you see? Why'd you do it? What caught your?
Yeah.
Did you see a setup? Did you see a setup? All kidding aside, did you see a setup that you liked?
I did. I liked this pre-New York morning star play where you kind of came down, tagged these lows here, held back above 2,500. So I was kind of seeing if we could hold above 25,000 level and seeing if we can come up and squeeze some highs. So it was a play that I love to play on gold, but I guess NQ's a different beast. But it was nice, nice morning star play. Tagged the lows, held 25,000. Closed nice and bullish. So trying to see if we can get this play, and that's why I don't cheat on gold.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Nothing from the president, nothing from Bostic just yet. Again, Richmond Fed did come in much worse than expected. Expected -5, actual -17. I remember that when that number actually moved us back in the day, Jack. Not so much this time. Let's take a look at these prices. ES 67.51. Do we make new all-time highs, Hogue? I think we did. 67.56 half. Actually, missed it by a tick.
Yeah, we stopped short by one.
By one tick. Yep. Speaking of weekly kickoff highs for your level, what's your weekly kickoff high for ES?
Weekly kickoff high for the ES 68.52.
While we're at it,
100
got
points.
you. What about NASDAQ? How about this one?
NASDAQ is 25,534 weekly kickoff high.
500 points away, Hogue, and it's definitely
doable.
Here's Trump.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Trump. All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
And I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working.
It's going to get good. It's going to get good.
I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
Salvador.
Hello, Madam First Lady. Thank you very much for being here.
Order filled.
And Madam President, Mr. Secretary General, First Lady of the United States, distinguished delegates, ambassadors, and world leaders. 6 years have passed since I last stood in this grand hall and addressed a world that was prosperous and at peace in my first term. Since that day, the guns of war have shattered the peace I forged on 2 continents. An era of calm and stability gave way to one of the great crises of our time. And here in the United States, 4 years of weakness, lawlessness, and radicalism under the last administration delivered our nation into a repeated set of disasters. 1 year ago, our country was in deep trouble. But today, just 8 months into my administration, we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, and there is no other country even close.
Order filled.
America is blessed with the strongest economy, the strongest borders, the strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation on the face of the earth. This is indeed the golden age of America. We are rapidly reversing the economic calamity we inherited from the previous administration, including ruinous price increases and record-setting inflation like we've never had before. Under my leadership, energy costs are down, gasoline prices are down, grocery prices are down, mortgage rates are down, and inflation has been defeated. The only thing that's up is the stock market, which just hit a record high. In fact, it hit a record high 48 times in the last short period of time. Growth is surging, manufacturing is booming. The stock market, as I said, is doing better than it's ever done. And all of you in this room benefit by that, almost everybody. And importantly, workers' wages are rising at the fastest pace in more than 60 years. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? In 4 years of President Biden, we had less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. In just 8 months since I took office, we have secured commitments and money already paid for $17 trillion. Think of it, 4 years, less than $1 trillion, 8 months, much more than $17 trillion is being invested in the United States, and it's now pouring in from all parts of the world. We've implemented the largest tax cuts in American history and the largest regulation cuts in American history, making this once and again the best country on earth to do business. And many of the people in this room are investing in America, and it's turned out to be an awfully good investment during this 8-month period. In my first term, I built the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the best economy ever, history of the world. And I'm doing the same thing again, but this time it's actually much bigger and even better. The numbers far surpass my record-setting first term. On our southern border, we have successfully repelled a colossal invasion. And for the last 4 months, and that's 4 months in a row, the number of illegal aliens admitted and entering our country has been 0. Hard to believe, because if you look back just a year ago, it was millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, from prisons, from mental institutions, drug dealers. All over the world they came. They just poured into our country with the ridiculous open border policy of the Biden administration. Our message is very simple. If you come illegally into the United States, you're going to jail, or you're going back to where you came from, or perhaps even further than that. You know what that means. I want to thank the country of El Salvador for the successful and professional job they've done in receiving and jailing so many criminals that entered our country. And it was under the previous administration that the number became record-setting, and they're all being taken out. You have no choice. And other countries have no choice, because other countries are in the exact same situation with immigration. It's destroying your country, and you have to do something about it. On the world stage, America is respected again like it has never been respected before. You think about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, or 1 year ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. At the NATO summit in June, virtually all NATO members formally committed to increase defense spending at my request from 2% to 5% of GDP, making our alliance far stronger and more powerful than it was ever before. In May, I traveled to the Middle East to visit my friends and rebuild our partnerships in the Gulf and those valued relationships with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, and other countries are now, I believe, closer than ever before. My administration has negotiated one historic trade deal after another, including with the United Kingdom, the European Union, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, and many, many others. Likewise, in a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. You're never going to get them solved. Some were going for 31 years, 2 of them, 31, think of it, 31 years. One was 36 years. One was 28 years. I ended 7 wars. And in all cases, they were raging with countless thousands of people being killed. This includes Cambodia and Thailand, Kosovo and Serbia, the Congo and Rwanda, a vicious, violent war that was, Pakistan and India, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, and Armenia and Azerbaijan. It included all of them. No president or prime minister, and for that matter, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And I did it in just 7 months. It's never happened before. There's never been anything like that. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars. But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war. The only thing that solves war and wars is action. Now, after ending all of these wars and also earlier negotiating the Abraham Accords, which is a very big thing for which
we are watching the President address the United Nations General Assembly. I'm going to do a quick market recap. Aaron, you seeing anything in gold there? We will get back to the speech. Are you seeing anything in gold quickly? Looking at a little bit of a
having a nice sell-off here, coming back down to that 3,800 level. Pretty bearish to want to fight against this just yet, but also glad I stayed out of the long. So I kind of want to see how we react on this this view-up level, 3,800. See if we can find some support here, or if we do break it, see if we come back below. But it's coming into a pretty interesting level, so I'm keeping an eye on it here.
Very good. 38.03 last trade there. Kevin, we're sitting here patiently listening. We will get back to the president. Kevin, any levels you're looking at here as we're trading?
I have 2 long trade at 943.
Long from
NASDAQ. So you can look at my chart. This is the 1 minute chart, so you can see it. It's almost the same. You can see that. So I place my chart here, trade here, right here, the second time, but I accidentally placed 5 NASDAQ instead of micros. So yeah. So I let go 3.
Okay, so you're long.
So I come back to only 2 lots.
Okay, long 2 NQ from 24,943 last trade, 4,953. Jack's not seeing much in the ES. Hogue, we're not seeing too. What do you got there? We'll get back to you.
We're a little bit at the lower end of like this has been just a wiki. We call it violently range bound, correct? Levels I'm looking at to the downside 67.45, 67.30 to the upside. If you're playing the range that near the highs of the day is still the 6,700 SPX.
Okay. All right. Very good. Hogue, if you see anything, any levels, any big size orders, do shout it out. But let's get back to the president who is addressing the United Nations General Assembly. Watching Top Step TV. Click subscribe, click like, click bell.
The project was so corrupt that Congress actually asked me to testify before them on the tremendous waste of money, because it turned out that they had no idea what it was, but they knew it was anywhere between $2 and $4 billion as opposed to $500 million with a guarantee. But they had no idea, and I said it cost much more than $5 billion. Unfortunately, many things in the United Nations are happening just like that, but on an even much bigger scale, much, much bigger. Very sad to see. Whether the UN can manage to play a productive role, I've come here today to offer the hand of American leadership and friendship to any nation in this assembly that is willing to join us in forging a safer, more prosperous world. And it's a world that we'll be much happier with. A dramatically better future is within our reach. But to get there, we must reject the failed approaches of the past and work together to confront some of the greatest threats in history. There is no more serious danger to our planet today than the most powerful and destructive weapons ever devised by man, of which the United States, as you know, has many.
Order filled.
Just as I did in my first term, I've made containing these threats a top priority, starting with the nation of Iran. My position is very simple. The world's #1 sponsor of terror can never be allowed to possess the most dangerous weapon. That's why shortly after taking office, I sent the so-called Supreme Leader a letter making a generous offer. I extended a pledge of full cooperation in exchange for a suspension of Iran's nuclear program. The regime's answer was to continue their constant threats to their neighbors and U.S. interests throughout the region and some great countries that are right nearby. Today, many of Iran's former military commanders, in fact, I can say almost all of them, are no longer with us. They're dead. And 3 months ago, in Operation Midnight Hammer, 7 American B-2 bombers dropped the 14 30,000-pound each bombs on Iran's key nuclear facilities, totally obliterating everything. No other country on earth could have done what we did. No other country has the equipment to do what we did. We have the greatest weapons on earth. We hate to use them. But we did something that for 22 years people wanted to do. With Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity demolished, I immediately brokered an end to the 12-day war, as it's called, between Israel and Iran, with both sides agreeing to fight no longer.
Order filled.
As everyone knows, I have also been deeply engaged in seeking a ceasefire in Gaza. Have to get that done.
Order filled.
Unfortunately, Hamas has repeatedly rejected reasonable offers to make peace. We can't forget October 7th, can we? Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. The rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be a reward for these horrible atrocities, including October 7th, even while they refuse to release the hostages or accept a ceasefire. Instead of giving to Hamas and giving so much, because they've taken so much, they have taken so much. This could have been solved so long ago. But instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Just release the hostages.
Oil session highs 63.47.
Thank you. As we have got to come together, and we will come together, get to get it done, we have to stop the war in Gaza immediately. We have to stop it. We have to get it done. We have to negotiate, immediately have to negotiate peace. We got to get the hostages back. We want all 20 back. We don't want 2 and 4. As you know, I got, along with Steve Witkoff and others that helped us, Marco Rubio, we got most of them back. We were involved in all of them. But I always said the last 20 are going to be the hardest, and that's exactly what happened. We have to get them back now. We don't want to get back 2, and then another 2, and then 1, and then 3. Have this process. No, we want them all back, and we want the actually 38 dead bodies back too. Those parents came to me, and they want them back, and they want them back very quickly and very badly, as though they were alive. They want them. They want them every bit as much as if their son or daughter were alive. I've also been working relentlessly, stopping the killing in Ukraine. I thought that would be, of the 7 wars that I stopped, I thought that would be the easiest because of my relationship with President Putin, which had always been a good one. I thought that was going to be the easiest one. But you know, in war, you never know what's going to happen. There are always lots of surprises, both good and bad. Everyone thought Russia would win this war in 3 days, but it didn't work out that way. It was supposed to be just a quick little skirmish. It's not making Russia look good. It's making them look bad. No matter what happens from here on out, this was something that should have taken a matter of days, certainly less than a week. And they've been fighting for 3.5 years and killing anywhere from 5,000 to 7,000 young soldiers, mostly soldiers, on both sides, every single week, from 5,000 to 7,000 dead young people, and some in cities, much smaller numbers, where rockets are shot, where drones are dropped. This war would never have started if I were president. This was a war that should have never happened. It shows you what leadership is, what bad leadership can do to a country. Look what happened to the United States, and look where we are right now in just a short period of time. The only question now is how many more lives will be needlessly lost on both sides. China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing war by continuing to purchase Russian oil. But inexcusably, even NATO countries have not cut off much Russian energy and Russian energy products, which, as you know, I found out about 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't happy. Think of it. They're funding the war against themselves. Who the hell ever heard of that one? In the event that Russia is not ready to make a deal to end the war, then the United States is fully prepared to impose a very strong round of powerful tariffs, which would stop the bloodshed, I believe, very quickly. But for those tariffs to be effective, European nations, all of you are gathered here right now, would have to join us in adopting the exact same measures. I mean, you're much closer to this. We have an ocean in between. You're right there. And Europe has to step it up. They can't be doing what they're doing. They're buying oil and gas from Russia while they're fighting Russia. It's embarrassing to them, and it was very embarrassing to them when I found out about it, I can tell you that. They have to immediately cease all energy purchases from Russia. Otherwise, we're all wasting a lot of time. So I'm ready to discuss this. We're going to discuss it today with the European nations, all gathered here. I'm sure they're thrilled to hear me speak about it, but that's the way it is. I like to speak my mind and speak the truth. As we seek to reduce the threat of dangerous weapons today, I'm also calling on every nation to join us in ending the development of biological weapons once and for all. And biological is terrible, and nuclear is even beyond, and we include nuclear in that. We want to have a cessation of the development of nuclear weapons. We know, and I get to view it all the time. Sir, would you like to see? And I look at weapons that are so powerful that we just can't ever use them. If we ever use them, the world literally might come to an end. There would be no United Nations to be talking about. There would be no nothing. Just a few years ago, reckless experiments overseas gave us a devastating global pandemic. Yet despite that worldwide catastrophe, many countries are continuing extremely risky research into bioweapons and man-made pathogens. This is unbelievably dangerous. To prevent potential disasters, I'm announcing today that my administration will lead an international effort to enforce biological weapons convention, which is going to be meeting with the top leaders of the world by pioneering an AI verification system that everyone can trust. Hopefully the UN can play a constructive role, and it will also be one of the early projects under AI. Let's see how good it is, because a lot of people are saying it could be one of the great things ever, but it also can be dangerous, but it could be put to tremendous use and tremendous good, and this would be an example of that. Not only is the UN not solving the problems it should, too often, it's actually creating new problems for us to solve. The best example is the number one political issue of our time, the crisis of uncontrolled migration. It's uncontrolled. Your countries are being ruined. The United Nations is funding an assault on Western countries
Order filled.
and their
Order
borders.
filled.
In 2024, the UN budgeted $372 million in cash assistance to support an estimated 624,000 migrants journeying into the United States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that? On the way to infiltrate our southern border. Millions of people came through that southern border just a year ago. Millions and millions.
I will keep the video on lower right-hand corner. Let's do a little recap. Kevin, they want to know, are you still in this trade? You're long for 24,943. Last trade, 24,954.
No,
Kevin,
I set a break even. So I was stop out.
Order filled.
okay.
Order
so
filled.
that was a scratch. Okay, very good. Okay. You are scratched. I see. Got you there. All right. Aaron, did you take any trades in gold? We bounced off those 3,800 evens, trading 3,806. Did you were able to get in, or are you still watching this thing play out, listening to the president speak?
I'm still watching. There's a pretty decent 70 tick bounce off that 3,800 level, which is very nice. I think if for me that 30 minute still closed pretty bearish. So if this 30 minute can get back above and the hourly ends up wicking out the previous lows, then I'm absolutely interested. So I'd like to, I kind of want to see this 30 minute close, and if we break out, I like the longs. There's a nice bounce off our levels.
Yes, there is. Last trade 38.07. You did see a big pop in crude. Crude did pop up to 63.66. All right, with that being said, Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to do a line shift. I know it's late where you're at out there in Taiwan. Thank you so much for being generous with your time. Any last words before you get out of here, Kevin? Thanks again.
Thank you. My last word, stay in your setups. Don't trade others' setups.
There you go. Succinct and to the point. Yeah. All right, Kevin, thank you so much. We'll have Dakota jumping in here in a minute. When ready. Thank you again, Kevin. We can go when ready. We'll bring Dakota back in, but Jack right now is seeing a little sell-off in ES. Nothing really cooking there. Dow has rolled over. We'll keep an eye out. Aaron, if you do take a trade, please by all means let us know. But thank you again, Kevin. We'll bring let's bring the president back in, and when we're ready, we'll get Dakota in here. When ready, but we are listening to the president address the general.
If something is not done immediately, this cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders.
Order filled.
As we do now.
Order filled.
And to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country. and now they're being ruined.
Order
Proud
filled.
nations must be allowed to protect their communities
Order
and
filled.
prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before with different customs, religions, with different everything. Where migrants
Real
have
quick,
violated laws,
Bostic has been speaking
lodged
throughout,
false asylum
and,
claims, or claimed refugee
not really
status
moving the
for
markets, sounding a little
illegitimate
hawkish on
reasons.
inflation, but
They
nothing's
should,
really
in many
happening there. We'll keep you
cases,
posted.
be immediately sent home. And while we will always have a big heart for places and
Hello?
people that are struggling and truly compassionate,
Hello, Dakota. What's
answers
up?
will
Good to see you.
be given.
Yeah, we're
live.
live.
We have to
We're live.
solve
Presence
the problem,
live.
and we have to solve
Any
it in
trades
their
on or
countries,
any
not
prices
create
you're
new
looking at?
problems in our countries. So we are
No,
very happy
if
to
everyone
allow
joined me last
countries
night, they know exactly what I was looking at. I had a nice short,
not able
and
to
I was
send their
looking
people anymore.
for a long
to send
off
them to
these
us in
230s.
caravans of
We had this
25,000,
consolidation
30,000 people
on our way up
These massive caravans of people
in
pouring
these
into our
930s,
country,
and I was looking for the market to come down and
unchecked
retest it.
and
Looks like we
unvetted.
did, and
but not anymore.
we're not seeing a lot of movement
Council of
during
Europe
this
in
speech.
2024, almost
Market's kinda
50% of inmates
Waiting.
in Germany
Sideways.
For-
prisons
Waiting for the magic
were
words.
foreign nationals.
Jack, any thoughts right
In
now?
Austria, the number
Obviously,
is
anything can happen at a moment's
53%
notice. Right now,
of
it's
people in
67.46. Looks like we're seeing a little support in
Okay, we done
ES.
for the day.
It's tough to dip a
this
toe
Yeah.
water
hour
when the president
to
is
come.
speaking. But what are your
But,
thoughts? I believe we're
this
talking
time,
about
I'm gonna do some
immigration at the
We
moment.
came,
Moments.
we came within a half point of taking out the lows from overnight in the ES.
When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repay
I'll have to, like,
kindness, and that's what they
just
do.
kind of
They
watch
repay
this speech play
kindness
out.
with crime.
Yeah.
It's time
I know,
to
unfortunately,
get
yes,
started.
we know the president does like to, talk about straight all topics, so we got to stay in tune.
I'm really good at
Obviously,
this
not
stuff.
everything's market moving, but we
Going
can't.
to
We got to be
happen.
locked in, and we're not going to miss
In
if
America,
something
we've
does
taken
happen. We saw that
bold
big pop
action to
in
swiftly shut
crude.
down uncontrolled migration.
We'll get
Once
back
we
to the
started
president for that.
detaining
Anyone does take a
and
trade,
deporting
Aaron, if you do take
everyone
any
who
trades,
crossed
please
the
jump
border
in. You're watching Top
and
Step
removing
TV.
illegal aliens
President
from the
is
United
addressing the
States,
United
they
Nations
simply stopped
General
coming. They're not
Assembly.
coming
Thanks for
anymore.
jumping on
There's a
here,
lot of
Dakota.
but
Good to
they're
see you
not
again.
coming anymore.
Yeah, thanks.
This was a humanitarian act for all involved because on the trips up, thousands of people a week were dying. Women were being raped. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Raped, horribly beaten, raped. On the trip up, the journey up, it was a long walk. It was a long, arduous journey, indeed. And it was also a historic victory against human trafficking throughout the region. What we did was a victory, and we saved so many lives of people that wouldn't make the journey. That journey was loaded up with death. Loaded up with death. Dead bodies all along the roads of jungles to get up. They go through jungles, they go through areas so hot you couldn't breathe. They were dying of suffocation, areas so hot that you couldn't breathe. Dead bodies all over. By them not coming,
Happy
we're
Tuesday,
saving
Andre.
tremendous numbers of
Yeah, it's just
lives. My people have done a fantastic job in doing
on the markets.
what they did, and the
We'll continue
American
to push out
public
here.
agrees with it. I mean, I was very proud to see this morning I have the highest poll numbers I've ever had. Part of it is because of what we've done on the border. I guess the other part is what we've done on the economy. Joe Biden's policies empowered murderous gangs, human smugglers, child traffickers, drug cartels, and prisoners.
Power through it.
Prisoners from all over the
Gotta power
world.
through it.
The previous administration also lost nearly 300,000 children. Think of that.
Talk
They
about Russia.
lost
We talk about
more than
tariffs.
300,000
Locked
children,
in.
little children, who were trafficked into the United States on the Biden watch, many of whom have been raped, exploited, and
Crude pushing
abused,
higher here.
and sold. Sold. Nobody talks about that. The fake news doesn't write about it. With many others, young children who are missing or dead. And we found a lot of these children and we're sending them back, and we've been sending them back to their parents. They said, nobody knows who they are. They said, where do you come from? And they'll give us a country and we'll find out and we'll figure it out and we'll bring them back to their homes. And the mother and father rush to the door and their tears in their eyes. They can't believe that they're seeing their son or daughter, their little son or daughter again. We've done almost 30,000 of them so far. Any system that results in the mass trafficking of children is inherently evil. Yet that is exactly what the globalist migration agenda has done, and it's what it's all about. In America, those days, as you know, are over. The Trump administration is working, and we are continuing to work to track down the villains that are causing this problem, and also, as I said, to get back the 30,000 we've already returned. Now I think we're going to have another. We're going to find a lot. You're not going to find all of them. 300, more than 300,000. They're lost or they're dead. They're lost or they're dead because of the animals that did this. To protect our citizens, I've also designated multiple savage drug cartels as far as and you see this, and you see it happening right before your eyes. Let's put it this way: people don't like taking big loads of drugs in boats anymore. There aren't too many boats that are traveling on the seas by Venezuela. They tend not to want to travel very quickly anymore. And we've virtually stopped drugs coming into our country by sea. We call them the water drugs. They kill hundreds of thousands of people. I've also designated multiple savage drug cartels as far as foreign terrorist organizations, along with two bloodthirsty transnational gangs, probably the worst gangs anywhere in the world, MS-13 and Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua is from Venezuela, by the way. Such organizations torture, maim, mutilate, and murder with impunity. They're the enemies of all humanity. For this reason, we've recently begun using the supreme power of the United States military to destroy Venezuelan terrorists and trafficking networks led by Nicolas Maduro, to every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the United States of America. Please be warned that we will blow you out of existence. That's what we're doing. We have no choice. Can't let it happen. They're destroying. I believe we lost 300,000 people last year to drugs, 300,000. Fentanyl and other drugs. Each boat that we sink carries drugs that would kill more than 25,000 Americans. We will not let that happen. Energy is another area where the United States is now thriving like never before. We're getting rid of the falsely named renewables. By the way, they're a joke. They don't work. They're too expensive. They're not strong enough to fire up the plants that you need to make your country great. The wind doesn't blow. Those big windmills are so pathetic and so bad, so expensive to operate. And they have to be rebuilt all the time, and they start to rust and rot. Most expensive energy ever conceived, and it's actually energy. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. You lose money, the governments have to subsidize. You can't put them out without massive